Peace to our brothers and sisters.
有机会回娘家看看，心里真是高兴，有一种说不出来的高兴。
This is like coming home to my mother, to my hometown, and there's a joy that I just cannot express with words.
我叫陈怀清。
My name is Chen Huaiqi.
2000年感恩节在武堂受洗。
I was baptized on Thanksgiving Day at the Chinese church in Chinatown in year 2000.
然后在这个教会成长，一直到2006年10月。
And I grew up in this church, and I continued to mature as a Christian until October of 2006 in this very church.
这3年中间有很多机会回来。
And over the past 3 years since I've left from 2006, I've come back many times on many occasions.
每次回来都经历神的恩惠，对我来讲都是一次更新跟复兴。
And every time I came back, I experienced God's grace, and each return has allowed me to grow and mature in Christ.
首先，恭祝大学城中华基督教会和中国城中华基督教会的弟兄姐妹。
I want to first congratulate the brothers and sisters of CCCNC and ucccc.
5年的时间，从1间教会增长成为2间教会。
In 5 years, you've grown from one church to now 2 churches.
在中国城和大学城2个福音重镇都有中华基督教会。
And in these 2 strategic locations, both in Chinatown and in University City, there is a Chinese Christian church.
我们向神献上深深的感恩。
And we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
感谢神在中华基督教会大学城分堂支堂的开始，我有机会参与其中。
I praise God that from the very beginning, in the establishment, in the founding of the satellite church at UC, I was part of that group that was sent out.
我不知道有多少弟兄姐妹还记得大学城分堂开始有主日敬拜的时候，我在做什么。
I don't know if many of you, if any one of you remember what my role was on the very first worship service 5.5 years ago.
我是孩子王。
孩子王。I was the prince of children.
我主要做儿童事工。
I control the children. I lord over them. I was a children ministry coordinator.
说孩子王实际上有点夸张自己，因为只有3个孩子。
Maybe if I said I'm the lord of the children, there's only 3 children under my lordship.
因为别的小的孩子有别的同工看待。
Because I was only able to take care of the older children, the younger, infants were taken care of by others.
我的服侍的3个人是柴林小荣家的苍苍，丁泽阮阳家的儿子，还有我自己的女儿。
One of them was his own daughter, and 2 of them were among the children here.
一切都很顺利。
That day, everything was smooth.
直到有一天，罗小荣来找我，就带来一个挑战。
And until one day, one of the boy Chang Tang's mother came to me and I guess filed a complaint, and the challenge came.
小人告诉我说，常常在大学城分堂，有时候只有1个人，没有朋友。
And the mother of this child said, this boy was quite unhappy because he was quite lonely. He has no friends.
小人觉得这样一直下去对常常不好，想带常常一起回母堂去。
And Xiaorong, the mother said, this is not good for her child's development. And they were thinking of going back to the Chinatown church instead of staying at the UC church.
作为一个母亲，这个想法非常的合理。
As a mother, this was a very reasonable thinking.
然而对我来讲，这无异于釜底抽薪。
On the other hand, for me, this is like an unbeatable blow on my head.
因为不仅让我没有服侍的对象，而且分堂儿童事工马上就要夭折了。
Not only do I have no person that I can minister to, I'm one less child to work, and this entire children's ministry will just be cut off midway.
因此小荣这么一讲，我就不知道说什么。
So when Xiaorong, mentioned that complaint of wanting to go back, I don't know what to say.
过了一会，我缓过神来了。
And after a while, I sort of regained my thoughts.
我也没有问小荣在常常回母堂到底是什么意思。
I didn't ask her, this mother, what she meant when she said she wanted to bring her child back to Chinatown.
反而是问他能不能像我带我家女儿一样。
And I said, can you treat him or allow me to treat him like I treat my own daughter?
早上带常常去母堂，下午带常常来分堂。
And that is, in the morning you bring your son to the Chinatown church, but in the afternoon come back to UC church.
我的理由是，总要有人做种子，不然新孩子既没有朋友就留不住。
And well, my reason was simple. Someone has to be the first, the pioneer, test case. If everybody left, there would be no starting, and this Changchang would become like my own daughter as the test case, as starting case.
有时候总得有人付代价。
And indeed, someone has to pay the price.
这就是我给我家女儿的定位，也是我给昌昌的定位。
This was my mission. This was my desire for my own daughter, and this was also my desire for little Changchang.
因此，想不到在分堂之堂的时候，他们一家就受到了来自我的逼迫。
Unfortunately, when we now are talking about independence, they also received my accusation.
小荣大概也没有想到我会提这么一个过分的要求。
And I don't think that Sharon will remember that I would now propose such an unreasonable request.
感谢神，小荣他们一家用委身和顺服来回应这么一个挑战。
Indeed, at that time, Sharon and her whole family responded to my challenge in this sacrificial way.
虽然面临这样的难处，他们一家仍然留在分堂。
Even though they were facing a lot of hardships, they still remained at UC Church.
神也是信实的。
And God is indeed faithful.
一粒麦子不落在地里死了，仍旧是一粒；若是死了，就结出许多的子粒来。
Unless a seed falls onto the ground and died, it cannot grow and become fruitful.
那时候昌昌就像一粒麦子。
At that time, this little Changchang was like a seed.
落在地里，孤孤单单，没有朋友。
Fell onto the ground, lonely, no friends, no other seed.
要经历许多的难处，还有他的父母也要一同受苦。
And Changchang has to go through a lot of hardships, a lot of loneliness. And likewise, his parents, both of them, still here in this church, has to go through a lot of suffering and loneliness.
我离开大学生分堂也就3年多的时间。
I left UC Church for about 3 years.
今天回来感觉就不一样。
But today, when I came back, I felt very different.
有一点像诗人贺知章所说的那样。
Like this He Zizang poet who said this, the following.
儿童相见不相识。
Children, they come together, they mingle, they don't really know each other.
只是没有人问我从哪个地方来。
Nobody ever asked me where I came from.
当然，大家也知道，小荣和才能他们一家也蒙了神很大的祝福。
And you know from the testimonies of this family that I mentioned, Xiaorong and Changchang and the whole family, you know this family have received great blessing from the Lord these past 3 years.
这是一件小事情，我不知道小荣是不是还记得。
This seems to be a very small, minute incident, and I don't even remember if Xiaorong remembered.
我也不知道我是不是跟别人说过这件事情。
I might even have given testimony about this story to other people.
但是我却记得很清楚。
But one thing I remember very clearly.
也对我也影响很大。
And this thing that I remember also affected me greatly.
因为先知说耶和华见所罗巴伯手拿线砣就喜欢。
Because the prophet said that the Lord, heavenly host, was pleased to see Zerubbabel holding a string, a measuring tape.
因为神喜悦一个小的好的开始。
Because the Lord is pleased with a small and faithful, good start, good beginning.
大学城中华基督教会的成立又是一个新的开始。
The independence of the University Church is indeed, it marked a new beginning.
愿神坚立弟兄姐妹手里所做的工。
May the Lord bless and honor and build up the work that He has placed among us.
他是开始上工的那一位，也深信他必成就这工。
He is the one who began this wonderful ministry, and we trust that He also will accomplish it in His own ways. May the Lord bless you.